Hi. Hello, people. Thank you so much for joining in. Um, there's a comment section in the in this YouTube live. Please feel free to join in a conversation with me in the comment section, and I'll be able to connect with you like that. Um, yeah, just keep me posted whenever. I would like love it if the conversation was interactive and I could hear what you have to say as well. Hi, hello. So firstly, before starting, I would like to introduce myself. I am Anuja Tilak and I am an assistant psychologist at Atha Center for Psychotherapy and Training. Uh, this session is, as you know by the title, it's body positivity and body acceptance. If you have anything that you want to say during the session, please feel free to use the comment section in the feed. And I'm also posting the email address if you want to write to us, if you have anything that you want to let us know, or any session that you would want us to host next. Please feel free to write us on the email address that's posted on the comments right now. So I think we should jump straight to the topic and start the conversation. Hello, hi. Uh, okay, so before we begin with body acceptance, I think a crucial part to discuss is body image, and because that's basically the crux of it. Now, body image does. Is anybody have any idea what I mean by body image? If yes, please feel free to write it in the comments. I will be glad to hear your inputs. Okay, so I think body image, or whatever I have learned over the years. Before we begin, a quick note: body image will probably be how you perceive yourself. Precisely what it is. Thank you so much for your answer, Karvi. It is what it is how we perceive yourself. But before we proceed ahead, just a quick note that these body acceptance can be a very severe issue for some individuals. This session is not a replacement for therapy, and it will ever be a replacement. If you're facing severe issues, we would like to request you to consult a psychiatrist or a mental health professional, a psychologist, whatever you're comfortable with. But this session is strictly not a replacement for therapy. Yes, introspection of our physical self. Yes, precisely. It is. Love your inputs, guys. Thank you so much. So, body image is how you perceive yourself, how you believe your appearance is, your assumptions, your memories, your thoughts about your own body, and but as much as it's ideas, it's also how you feel within your body. Now, body image, of course, as many individuals in the world, that's how many body images we will have. But it's precisely what you think of your body. Now, body image can be of two types. It can be a negative body image that you hold about yourself, or a positive body image. Now, the problematic one, which is the negative body image, we'll come to that first. Now, it's a distorted perception of yourself. You don't particularly feel comfortable in your body, or you feel ashamed of a particular weakness, that weakness as you might consider for yourself, or the idea that others are maybe attractive, but I am not, or I'm not desirable to anybody. So these can encompass a few thoughts that you have if you have negative body image. Now we'll see and take a look at what a positive body image would look like. Now, positive body image is a very realistic perception of how you see yourself. It might not necessarily be posting yourself all the time. It'll look a little like accepting and appreciating yourself or your body exactly the way it is, and you accept every maybe you know some of your flaws, but you still accept your body the way it is. A key factor in this is that you're very comfortable in your skin. So this is what body image is. And the problem when it comes to body acceptance is when you're dealing with a negative body image. So the road that we will take today, so this little introduction I think was essential for us to continue this conversation. So turning our attention to a negative body image. Now, I am sure that before we begin this, before we discuss strategies, I'm sure that all of us might have questioned that where do these things originate from? Why suddenly has, not suddenly, I'll say, what has caused us to have such a negative perception of ourselves? If you guys have any idea, could you like please post it in the comments? I would love to hear your inputs on this. Because I think all of these factors that we'll be discussing is what all of us live through. We know this very well. And when I say these factors, you're probably going to be like, oh, yes, definitely. Like, I completely understand that this has happened to me. So, definitely, societal standards. Yes, very true. Very true. Any other inputs? Some passing remark by someone that stayed with us. Definitely. Yes. These are all very valuable insights, guys. Thank you so much for that. So, yes, these 2 points are very important and they are a part of where this image of ideal body came from. So, firstly, like right now, the medium that we're holding this session on, social media, a very huge factor of, of why we want to hold perfect bodies or ideal bodies is social media. The representation that we see online of uh, of perfect bodies, perfectly toned bodies, glowing skin, all of these are setting standards for how we want to see ourselves, in turn leading us to have a negative body image. Another thing is beauty industry, the entire beauty industry. And I don't think I have to repeat this point, mention this point even, because all of us are a victim to this every single day in our lives. So, beauty industry is constantly trying to market on these negative body images, beliefs that we have, and they can be, oh, you need to have, like, if you're not tall enough, or if you're not fair skinned, or you are a plus size, and all of these things are basically reinforcing this negative body image, reinforcing the idea that your body needs to be a certain way. Another thing that all of us fall trapped to whenever we look at ourselves is this parameter of weight. We consider that weight is like an ideal medium to measure your body, but that might not be exactly the case, because there is body size diversity, right? All of us were meant to look different. All of us were meant to have different body sizes. So, this idea that weight is like a parameter to measure your body can in turn reinforce this idea that, oh, I'm particular number on the measuring scale, and hence I'm not fit enough, I'm not attractive, I am not good looking for that matter. Some of us will get into these traps. Like Prachi mentioned, societal expectations. Societal expectations have been dictating ideal bodies right from, like, I think from for as long as the societies or civilizations have existed. That flat stomach and toned bodies and looking just right, or the just right amount of fat on your body, and all of these things do enforce a negative body image. These are also sometimes portrayed to be key factors to some important goal that you want to achieve. Like, if you're not a certain way, you might not have a dream partner, or you might not land that dream job that you're looking at. It might also have these ideas that it might play a key role in your popularity or your success, and even for that matter your self confidence. It All of these ideas combined are playing on your self worth, on playing on the idea of self confidence for you. Like Suchitra rightly mentioned, passing comments by some people around us, right? How many times have all of us gone out and just heard this comment, meeting somebody after a very long time, and the first comment that they pass on us is that, oh, you've lost weight. you know so many of us have gone through this, and you suddenly will become conscious. You'll notice that shift within yourself. You will see that you suddenly don't feel comfortable in your skin, no matter how comfortable you were back at home, right? So passing comments by people, or families too, that's one factor. Sometimes our mothers, or women, or in general all people around us will make these comments that you are looking fat in this particular top, or you should be you're looking too skinny. These comments, they keep reinforcing this idea. Another factor I really want to address is size oppression. There's a lot of discrimination happening around us for being or not being a particular size. There's criticism that comes your way, and a lot of discrimination as well. That also is a factor. Now, uh, where did it all start? Right? It started when bodies, like marginalized bodies, begin to be labeled in the society. They were labeled to be, say, perfect or not perfect, or oh, this is good, this is bad. Labels. There were labels constantly passed around. Now, what's the problem with this? I mean, you will have this question like, okay, Anuj, I do want to be somebody who is thin. I want to be somebody. I want to lose weight. Well, there's nothing wrong with that idea. It's I, so any idea why it might be wrong, and why it might be, you know, problematic to hold certain views, and how can that interfere and cause us emotional distress or disturbance? Please feel free to write in the comments. I'm waiting for responses. Okay, I think I'll proceed. Um, I think the idea uh, of placing your worth on things that can vary in their nature, right? You might not be a particular size. Yes, we tend to be overcritical of ourselves. Yes, and get into behaviors or tendencies that might not necessarily be a good idea for you to adapt. Perfectly, yeah. So when you start placing your worth on ideas or things or beliefs which are very variable in nature, they are going to keep fluctuating, right? Your weight is going to go up and down. You are going to have acne on your skin at one point of the month, and some point you might not, right? Stress, environmental conditions, all of these play a huge role in how your being is functioning at the moment. Also, hence, they are very fluctuating in nature. The minute you start placing your worth on something that's so fluctuating, your levels of how you value yourself or how you see yourself will constantly go up and down, which it will keep interfering with the level of emotions, or emotion disturbance that you will face at any point. So it's not a very sustainable strategy or idea to focus on some basic factors to decide your worth. Now let's move to the topic that is our crux today, which is body acceptance. Now, that's the journey that we we want to embark on, right? From a negative body image to understanding where they originate from, to finally coming to body acceptance. Now, of course, I completely understand that it's easier said than done, and it's a process. So I just want to again repeat the idea that um, this is not a replacement for therapy. Please, if you're facing severe issues, uh, please consult a mental health professional, and that will help you find your way through this. This is just an informative seminar that will help you understand the issue better. So, coming to the topic, body acceptance. Now, what do I mean by body acceptance? Any idea what do I mean by that? I'm glad to see that y'all are agreeing and listening to me so well. Thank you so much, guys. Yes, precisely. It's a very correct understanding. We are by body acceptance. I do not mean to say that you keep saying that, oh, I look good, or oh, I am amazing. That's not the idea of it. Yes, I love the responses. You're being okay with yourself, being okay with what we look like, appreciating all that our body does for us. Yes, precisely what it is. I'm glad that you guys have such a great understanding of it. So, yeah, it's not about saying that, oh, I don't look shitty today. It's probably the idea will look like that, acknowledging the fact that, okay, maybe I do look a little shitty today, but that's okay. And it's like a realistic expectation to understand that it might not always possible to look good all the time. It's not possible. I mean, take conventional standard wise, if we were to say, nobody can look good or beautiful or handsome or any term that you want to associate with. It's not possible. It's not really realistic to expect that you will look good all the time. It's precisely the idea that everything about you is exactly as it's supposed to be, and everything about you is perfect. It's completely normal to be the way you are, and it's exactly what it's supposed to do currently in functioning, in looking, in everything. It's accepting yourself. It's precisely accepting yourself. Now, as simple as this statement sounds, it's not as easy, right? Just we are criticizing of ourselves a lot. We criticize ourselves day in and day out at every action, probably. Um, and it might be a tough journey to do, moving from acknowledging to accepting. So let's today maybe begin by acknowledging ourselves and just, yeah, even that is the harder process, but slightly easier than accepting. So what exactly is normal then? Like I said this word that it's normal to look a certain way. It's normal to be a certain way. What do I mean by normal? By normal, I mean you're human. Okay, you're bound to have flaws. You're bound to have some things that you don't appreciate about yourself and some things that you absolutely love about yourself. It can be various parts of your body, it can be about you, it can be uh, but mainly appearance, right? So I like my eyes, I like my nose, I don't like my mouth, I like my ears, whatever. It can be regarding specific parts of your body. Now, they are exactly the way they are supposed to be. Now, what all of these factors actually go into you being yourself? That is actually, I think, the key to moving towards what we consider normal. So, when we're moving towards normal, one of the ideas is that there are a lot of factors that contribute to the way you are. Firstly, there's genetics, there's the stage of your life you're at. Okay, like it's not very realistic to expect your body to run like 100 meter at 40 as opposed to when you were 20 and with the same speed and agility and all of that, and then making an image of yourself, right? That might not be very realistic. So the genetics, the stage of your life, what sort of environment do you currently live in, uh, lifestyle that you follow, the nutritional intakes that you take in, the cultural norms around you that are constantly at play regardless of where you are, and the traditions that you follow, right? So all of these needs to be considered when we are moving towards an image of normal. Now, when I say normal, I also mean acknowledging the fact that there's body size diversity. What I mean by body size diversity is that all of us humans were not meant to be one size, right? It's not all of us were supposed to be thin, all of us supposed to be fat, all of us supposed, again, labeling, right? I I should be labeling while talking about this as well, but that's the only way I can communicate these ideas. So body size diversity means that all body sizes are bound to be different. They're never going to be the same. And we as humans are meant to have different body sizes. Now, that might include, just um, acknowledging your scars, your moles, your stretch marks, your wrinkles. All of these things are also a part of normal, and normal is beautiful. So the idea of normal here, just to summarize quickly, is that there's a lot of factors that play in, the factors that I listed. You need to acknowledge that there's body size diversity. Not all of us were meant to be the same size or a particular way. Acknowledging that you might have some parts of your body that you don't like, right? Your scars, your moles, your stretch marks, your wrinkles, it's all normal and it's all beautiful. So there can be examples where you do feel that one of your scar is like really, you really appreciate it and you really like it on yourself. So that can be your image of body acceptance and moving towards body positivity. Now, while moving from body acceptance to body positivity, there might be a pit stop in the middle, or it can be your end goal. That's completely up to you because your body is your decision, and how you want to feel about it is completely your choice. So, any idea what this pit stop might be from moving from body acceptance to body positivity? Reframing our perspective, yes. Reframing our perspective is the entire idea. But what I mean to say by pit stop is, moving from, so body acceptance is maybe your end goal, or body positivity is your end goal, but there's a pit stop in the middle. Now, this is a separate stage that you could be completely at. Yes, that's precisely body acceptance. Yes. So, okay, so I'll come to this idea called as body neutrality. So it might be that you acknowledge some of your flaws, but it's not always possible to feel very positive about it. So for you personally, body positivity is a very unrealistic goal. Yes, yes. These are all ideas about body acceptance and body positivity. But it we also need to acknowledge the fact that it might not always be possible for us to be completely okay with everything about us. There might be some things that you will never be okay with. So then what's your end goal? So in that case, uh yeah, just a minute. So in that case, you will be moving towards body neutrality. What I mean to say neutrality is that it's a neutral position. You are not expecting, you would should not like feel very positively or very negatively about yourself. You will engage in acts that you care about yourself, but maybe don't have an image about yourself that goes in the positive direction or in the negative direction. With body neutrality, the idea is that you care for your body and your health from a care perspective rather than from like a vanity sort of perspective. You will look at it as if you were taking care of something apart from you that you don't particularly feel positively or negatively towards. It could be just neutral. You want to take care of it because you care about it, and that's about it. So that's the idea of body neutrality. So it comes from a place of not to beautify your body in any way, but to all feel positively, just simply to take care about it. Now, these responses that you've given me, guys, are all about body acceptance, and they also talk about a little body positivity. So these will be a part of the strategies that I want to convey at the end of this seminar. Okay, so a pit stop there might be body neutrality. Now, the another part of our seminar today is also about body positivity. Now, this is the ideal case scenario. Like you want to feel um, positively about how you are. That's precise. That's literally the meaning of the word body positivity. Now, it's all about, so body positivity you've accepted. Now it's moving towards changing how you think about your body. So, body positivity here, don't get me wrong, it does not mean that there's no space for insecurity, but rather there's like acknowledging that your body might have limitations, but they don't reflect a great deal on who you are as a person. It's about treating yourself with love and respect. So that's the difference between body neutrality and body positivity. Body neutrality will not particularly incline in a positive or a negative direction, but body positivity will focus on how you look at your body, treating it with love and respect, but keeping it at a slightly positive note. I hope that difference is clear. Thank you so much, Asira ma'am. Again, I want to reiterate the fact that there is no way that I am saying that there's no place for insecurity. Like there is scope for you to feel negatively about yourself, but holding the vision, holding the perspective that it does not reflect on me. That's important. That's the important difference between neutrality and positivity. So I hope that was clear. Please feel free to post any questions that you have regarding this so far. Now that I've just mentioned it, I'm sure that there'll be some questions. I'd be glad to answer them. However, I will do that at the end of the session. I'll take up the questions at the end, but please feel free to put them right now in the chat box. uh, any doubts, please feel free to put that up. I hope everything was clear so far and you understood what I wanted to convey about body image, body acceptance, body neutrality, and finally body positivity. Okay, so we are moving to a section of strategies now. Now, समझ तो आ गया. We are very clear about maybe these theoretical concepts, but you might ask me, Anuja, what should I do about this? How can I make this a part of yourself, right? How can I practice these ideas? So now we're moving to strategies. Now, first and foremost, I think a very basic part of body acceptance and body positivity is the way that you think. It's less of a physical barrier as opposed to it being a more of a mental barrier. So we will be focusing on a lot of behavioral, a lot, uh, a lot of thinking based strategies, as well as a lot of the ones that work on your feelings and emotions. So, firstly, I would like to address the physical part of it because that's the most easily understood. That's the behaviorally we humans understand better. So, one way to increase this acceptance that you have towards yourself is movement of body. Let your body move the way that it wants to move, right? If an HIIT workout or so high intensity interval training feels a lot for you, don't do it. If your body is not enjoying what you're doing, it's not a very helpful strategy that will push you towards accepting your body. If your body enjoys a particular workout, say I love skipping, my body loves that sort of workout, so I'm going to focus more on those sort of behavioral or exercises. The key is always to listen to your body, listen to what it likes doing, what it doesn't like doing. In this process you will also play a role of examining the way that you look at your particular exercises. That is also an important part. Just moving your body is not important, but looking at how you view exercises is also an essential goal. Now you need to examine your goals here. Are your goals inclining towards I want to look a certain way? Then that might reinforce the idea of a negative body image. But here, if you focus your goals more towards the health side, the more fitness side, or as a way of relaxing for you, or you do it merely because of that good feeling, that post workout serotonin boost, maybe. So maybe modify your goals in a way that you treat your body with care and respect. Another important thing is Very helpful strategy is paying attention to your food. What is your way to look at food? What is your relationship that you share with your food? Are you very restricting with yourself? Are you questioning everything that you eat? So there comes the key part of flexibility. Here you need to understand the relation that you share with the food first. Food is looking at food in a way that it's a way to bring fuel into your body. It's a way that your body functions. So treating food as a friend rather than as an enemy. There's um, many a times I think when we are thinking that, oh, I want to lose weight, I want to lose weight, I want to become healthy, we get into this crash diets or like diets and keto and whatnot. I am not against diets. It's just that the way that you look at your diet, it's it's also with flexibility that you should be considering this with. So your relationship with food, flexibility in your diet, treating food as a friend rather than an enemy. It's fuel, you need it. A balanced nutritious meal to ensure that your health is the end goal and not maybe your dress size or your shirt size, whatever. Now, intuitive eating is one thing that should I feel like highlighting here. Intuitive eating might be talking, eating food as you feel like it. Whatever you enjoy eating, whatever your body feels like having at the moment, your body will communicate it to you, and you will. So, idea of intuitive is that you will engage in the way that your body gives you cues. Um Now I want to turn your attention to a little bit of prompts or journaling in a way that you pay attention to your thoughts a little bit. Now, when I say thoughts, I mean to say that you encounter whenever you encounter saying anything negative that you say about yourself, bringing your awareness to it, to what you think, and maybe challenging those thoughts as to challenging might not come easy in the first go, but just bringing awareness might be the first step that you could take. Just looking at the way that you talk to yourself about your body and encountering ourselves at every point that that thought comes. It's not an easy process bringing awareness or encountering. It's a technique, and it takes a lot of practice. It's not that you start doing it today and you'll be completely well equipped at doing that tomorrow. That might not happen. This questioning and encountering your negative thoughts might be a very long lifelong process for you, for anybody for that matter. Next, whenever you feel little negative about yourself, maybe try using a few prompts, journal them, and ask yourself these questions. How do I feel right now? Do I feel good in whatever I am wearing or how I'm looking right now? Is there any particular reason why I don't feel comfortable? Some basic questions to begin with could be: are you enjoying what you're wearing right now? Is that dictating how you look at yourself? These particular questions need to be asked to bring awareness to what you think about yourself. Another thing you could ask yourself is: are you concerned that somebody else will say something about you? And most importantly, a very key question I think is: where is this actually coming from? What might be the origination of these particular things? One important highlight, and I will like to highlight right now, is that when you're dealing with body acceptance, your triggers might not necessarily always be external in nature, but might be triggered from within. Your triggers might be your own thoughts, your own emotions, how comfortable you feel in your body. So, all of these bring together the thoughts. So, reflecting on these thoughts is one number one strategy that I will recommend. Bringing awareness, firstly, is what you should go with first. Secondly, sorry, that's not secondly, but moving on. So, another thing you could start doing is questioning the standards before completely accepting them. You need not. So, like we all agreed a few minutes ago, that all of this is dictated by societal norms, societal expectations from how a body is supposed to look. Now, these standards, no matter how ingrained they might be in us, it's important to bring your awareness and question these standards henceforth before accepting them completely. That might be one of the most proactive steps that you could take. Uh, it brings attention to what you feed yourself. Yes, bringing awareness makes so much sense. It's always what we mention in therapy as well. It's awareness plus action. So bringing awareness might be the very basic and crucial step that you can take towards yourself. Now, one more point with the health perspective I forgot to mention was that looking at your body and achieving and engaging in activities that encourage a health and care oriented perspective rather than like a vanity perspective. By vanity, I mean choosing to do something because I will look good at the end of it. Having these beauty standards for set for ourselves. So these activities could be choosing to drink, enough water, nutritious meals, sleeping on time, taking up an exercise routine. So a combination of all that. Another way that you could be, bring up awareness, or awareness to body acceptance, or move in the direction of body acceptance, might be activities that help you pay attention to your body in a way that you make yourself feel worthy. Now, I want you to think about this for a minute. Okay, you treat your body as a separate entity. Okay, consider that a body is a completely separate entity, and it's a friend. Okay, now if this friend is feeling say a little off about things, a little not okay with how you're behaving currently, because you've been throwing a lot of negative things at it, how do you plan on solving a particular issue that this person might have? Any insight into the comments? What will you do if your friend is upset? You have been very negative towards the friend. Now there's an issue. How will you deal with it? To step back and ask what the problem is. Yes, that's the awareness point that we spoke about. Perfectly right. Thank you so much, Ash. Any other inputs? I think, according to me, one of the first things that you will do with this friend is go up to them and be like, just spend some time. That is the first thing that will come in my mind. If the friend is upset, you will give it attention. You will give it, you know, that time to be spent only with them, which of course will in turn get to asking what the problem is and all of those questions. But inherently, that person is going to need a little bit of your time and attention. The minute you give it a little bit of time and attention, the friend is going to be like, okay, I am maybe important to this person and I am maybe worthy. Now, remove that person, remove the friend from your scenario, and replace it with your own body. The amount of attention and time that you give your body is going to feel equally worthy. Now, this doesn't have to be huge as gestures that you do for them. You don't have to plan like a spa day or anything like that. It can just be a simple activity of putting moisturizer on yourself, and just pay attention on how your body feels when you give it attention. Just, it can be a very mindful activity where you're focusing on how your fingertips are moving and how does the pressure feel and all of that. When you do all of that, I am sure at least you will increase 0.02% of worthiness that you feel within yourself. Another thing we can go ahead with is just these quick reminders for ourselves. You remember I mentioned the point about encountering these negative thoughts at every point in the day. Instead of doing that, maybe you could just take a moment and just tell yourself a particular statement that gives you that strength, right? Just giving that strength to yourself uh, will help. Okay, now coming to one of the last strategies that we will be looking at is this realization. One, somebody in the comments mentioned about that, you asking or telling yourself and appreciating what your body does for you. That's precisely what I'm going to come to now. uh, Write down, journaling can also be in the form of writing down things that are unique about you. Okay, that are unique about you, that you like about yourself. Write down the things that your body does for you. And when you appreciate and take a moment to do that, it's also going to start building up trust in in yourself when it comes to you loving and accepting your body. I'm just going to take a quick look at my notes and just see if I'm missing out on any other points. Thank you so much for listening so patiently to me, all of y'all. Thank you so much. um, okay, another important question can be, so self-care and taking care of your body will look very different for everybody. The way that you understand love towards yourself will also be very different. So in that case, you could ask a question in your journaling, can be, how can I take care of my body to keep it healthy? So this will include, you remember the points of, exercise regimen, or nutritious meals, or drinking enough water, getting enough sleep, all of this. So I think at the end of the day, I just want to say that every day is just like a fresh start. Every day you might, see a change in yourself, which might go in a positive direction or in a negative direction. It's just immensely very important for you to have a fresh start every day, and choosing to look at things in a very positive way. By positive, I mean a health oriented and a care perspective, not a positive way. But yeah, now I quickly, we have last 10 minutes before we wrap up the session. uh, Please feel free to put in any doubts that you have before we go towards the concluding remarks. Okay, one question was, Vidyut mentioned that how about body language? Now, body language could be a part of how you express it outwardly. It might not necessarily be how you communicate with yourself. Of course, that is not to say that you communicate yourself. Yes, you do, but primarily from a verbal sense. That's how the self talk, which is something that we are targeting in body acceptance precisely. So body language might not play a very important role in this case. Could you share the questions for journaling? Yes, definitely. For everybody who has attended this seminar, uh, you could write to us and maybe we could send you down the takeaway from the seminar. It might take a couple of days, but we'll get to that. Please explain how to do journaling. Okay, very good question. So, journaling is essentially, if I put it very short, if I put it very crisply, I would say sitting with a book and a pen and writing down the thoughts that come in your head, the way they are, exactly the way they are. Now, what it's going to do is, our mind keeps running all through the day. The minute that you pin down some thoughts, it's going to create a lot of awareness. It's going to bring awareness to your thoughts, it's going to bring awareness to your emotions. Now, sometimes we are not aware of how we talk to ourselves, or how criticizing are towards ourselves. So in that case, journaling could be useful, where you are narrowing down what you are thinking about yourself. Maybe you could ask yourself questions. In this case, maybe you're sitting in a maybe a Sunday afternoon, just have a pen and book in your hand and ask yourself, how do I feel right now? Or what are some thoughts that are going through my head? Was there something bothering me? These simple questions will, you could start by that. You could start eventually your awareness of your thoughts and emotions will increase. It might create that connection that when I think this thought, this is the emotion that comes up from for me. And that will inherently build a lot of insight that you have within yourself. But in this case, if body acceptance and body positivity is concerned, we will be looking at how we are thinking about ourselves, and is it particularly helpful for us to think about this in a particular way or not. That will be what will be a part of journaling them. uh, I hope that answers your question. Any other question? Another thing that y'all could do, because we would love to send across a little, takeaway from this session for y'all. So one thing that you could do, that if you have the link to the registration, you could fill up the form, and we will have your email IDs from there, and we could email the takeaways to you. So that could be something that y'all could do. Wow, it's been 46 minutes, and I really appreciate all of those who have been a part of this even for a minute. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much for attending. Before we conclude, just a few things that I would like to address. Firstly, it's that a lot of gratitude for everybody who attended. Secondly, we would love to hear from you for any other webinar topic that you would like us to, you know, have on, so that we could try our best to provide whatever insights that we've gathered so far. There are a few upcoming events at Atha. We are holding an advanced CBT workshop, training workshop for various disorders, personality disorders, which is going to be amazing. Azira Chirmule ma'am is going to be holding the workshop. Uh, and we are also, yeah, we are also currently, please, we also launched the music and mental health section on our website, which is www.athapsychotherapy.com. I will put them in the comments. Please do check them out. We are very excited about it. We held, um, thank you so much for these lovely comments. I am so glad to hear that this seminar was helpful to you. Okay, just a minute. This is the website. This is the website. Please visit our website. Take a look at the resources there. We have a lot of content there which you could be accessible to you. We're also planning to upload whatever takeaways that we have on the page. So if by some reasons you're not able to get in touch with us, you could always check them out on the website. Yeah. But other than that, also we have a lot of fresh content coming up on the website. Please do keep checking that. Please feel free to contact us on this email ID. Just a minute, I'm putting it up. So that also goes not only for questions, but if you want us to hold particular topics that you might benefit from, nothing like it. We would love to cater to whatever you want us to come up with. That's the email ID. Please feel free to write to us. We would love to hear from you. I would like to end the live now. Thank you so much for your presence. Thank you so much for hearing me out. And thank you so much for the opportunity to share my insights in body positivity and acceptance. Just to reiterate, this is not a replacement of therapy. If you're facing severe issues, please go ahead and consult a mental health professional. It might change a few directions. Thank you so much. Thank you for the lovely comments. Hope to see you at our next live. Bye bye.